Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Okay. We're getting ready to start. But before we start, let me give you an introduction to the geography of Haiti. When I was growing up, we had 9 departments, 9 provinces, 9 organizations. Now there are 10. The ones outside of Haiti, we would call each other 10e département, the 10th department. So for example, you have the Northeast. This is where For Liberté and Wanamet is located. You have the North. This is where all the beautiful people in Haiti come from. This is where Cap Haitien is located, where Milo, where Palais Sans Souci, where Plaine du Nord. This is the most beautiful part of any black state, right here. Let me do a survey to see if that's true.
That's where you're from?
Mr. Duncan, your best friend, where is his family from?
The north of Haiti.
There you go. Okay. Excuse me, lovely lady with the sunglasses. Where is your husband from? Okay, there you go. Let me see who else I can add. Oh, Roslyn. Where is your husband? Where is your husband's family from? Grand Rivière. That's also in the area. So what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that's the place to be at. This is the start. This little piece of real estate is more important than you can imagine. Over here is the northwest. This is where Mont Saint-Nicolas, Port-de-Paix is located. Jean Rabel. Jean Rabel is famous because there was a massacre by the Macoutes in Jean Rabel. Now, La Tibonite. La Tibonite. Up until 1974, La Tibonite made enough rice and crops to feed the whole of Haiti.
Yep.
USAID, US government, the Duvaliers decided we need to crush this. What they did was they flooded the land with such cheap USAID, US-made rice that it no longer became competitive. So the people that used to feed the whole of the country had to go and work in minimum wage jobs. So this part was so flourishing right here. This is the belly of the land. This is where Gonaïve is located, where Jean-Jacques Dessalines on January 1 proclaimed universally what I'm going to tell you. This is where Saint-Marc is located. Dessalines got married in the church in Saint-Marc. But not only that, but after Leclerc came back to, well, not he came back, after Napoleon decided he was going to reinstitute slavery, this was the most decisive victory that the Africans had until they started figuring out the way to do it. It was at Saint-Marc. Over here, now, they call this West. Not really west, but I guess it's west the way you look at it. Port-au-Prince is located here, but most importantly, Akaye is located. Akaye, in May 18, 1803, I'll tell you what happens there. This part, southeast, La Vallée de Jacmel is located. This is the most beautiful seaport town you can imagine. They have a music festival and everyone would like to go there. Hold it. I'm glad somebody just came in here. In the west, this town, this area is Croix-des-Bouquets. Are there any Croix-des-Bouquets people here? I knew one. There you go. There you go. Croix-des-Bouquets is important because Dessalines, well, before he became Dessalines, at the time he became Dessalines, built the church in Croix-des-Bouquets with Jean-Baptiste Dessalines. Over here is the south. L'Écaille is located there. Now this part used to be called Gandance, but they broke it up into 2 departments. So growing up, we only had 9 departments. And the people in the diaspora were the 10e département. But now there are 10, so I guess we're the 11e département. Gandance is important for people like Duncan because it has Jeremy and all the mulattoes there. So that's why Duncan likes it so much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Today is April 26th. When we're doing our schedule, I chose this date because it's significant for me. April 26th is the weekend of April 24th. My name is Raymond Duguay Jr. This is Raymond Duguay Sr. He would have been 82 years old on Friday. He was born April 24th. So the reason why I chose this date was to honor my father because, number one, he's from Cap-Haïtien, which is so important. But number 2 is, just like this and everyone else, we all owe a debt in gratitude to our parents. So this is for Mr. Duguay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. What you have here is Revolution Haitian. This is in Creole. It is the most profound revolution in the history of humankind. It is also the most underemphasized military victory in the history of what is called the Western world. This is Haiti. All of it was called Haiti. What you see in yellow now is that dreadful state called Dominican Republic. What you see in the pink is the honorable land. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Get the book if you don't have it.
Oh, hi Nancy. Oh, nice to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Division 432 of the UNIA ACL. Mr. Bobby started this organization, well, it's actually a government, on July 20, 1914 in Kingston, Jamaica. What he realized is that no matter where he went, black people, our people, were at the very bottom, were discriminated, harassed, killed, pillaged, violated. And he said to himself, I know why we're discriminated against. We are taken advantage of, beaten down because of our race. So any solution must have race part of the equation. Then he makes the most profound statement. That solution must have race first. There are many books I think we should all read. One of the books is The Destruction of Black Civilization by Dr. Chancellor Williams. The first part, which is practically 94% of the book, or 95% of the book, is the history. The second part is what he calls the plan. And he says, but who will begin to lay the first stone in the foundation of the greatest movement for racial unity and power ever taken? And how might such a task begin? Like every great movement, ladies and gentlemen, it will be initiated by just one individual. No great gathering or crowd starts a movement, quite the contrary. When you see the many, it's because that one individual has reached out to another individual, and they have reached out to another individual. When you see all of these people here in Division 432, it's because one individual decided he needs to resurrect UNIA. He starts it. He calls me. Now we have 2. We each speak to our wives. Now we have 4. We each speak to our adult children. Now we have 6. We reach out to Kofi Aito. Now we have 7. That's how every movement throughout history of time has always done. You must start with one individual. One person has already thought matters through and resolved that a beginning must be made. But the one person is simply one who is dedicated to the service of his people. He seeks nothing more but to serve. In a world of wolves, this is from Mr. Garvey.
That's right.
One should go on. Bless you. And one of the most powerful defensive weapons within the reach of Negroes is the practice of race first. Race first. In all parts. Economically, financially, militarily, race first. Race first means race first for you, brother. Race first for you, race first for you, race first for you. If you're Indian, race first for you. If you are white, race first for you. We don't go out, we don't have time to denigrate and attack others. We don't have time for that.
That's right.
We've got time only to build. But race first. That is the simplest solution. Now, let's bring it to why we're here. The first recorded black rebellion on that island occurred on the plantation of a son of Columbus. Basically, Columbus is nothing but a slaver. This is amazing. December 6, 1492, they arrive in what is now the Dominican Republic. Before you know it, there are slave plantations. The first one. Many people will tell you, oh, that's the past. Let it go. It's a long time ago. It's not important. Well, my answer to that is, then why have museums? Why have monuments? Why have statues? Why have history? Why have cemeteries? There are only 3 time periods: past, present, and future. Future is coming. You know, we can only prepare for it. The present is fleeting. It is evolving. The past is what you have to study. Let me give you an example, ladies and gentlemen. I work as an actuary at a big insurance company. There are many types of actuaries, but I'm a pricing actuary. I price large accounts. Your Walmarts, your Verizons, your Jevities. When they come and seek insurance from this company, they have to bring their past. How else can I predict the future? There is no other way to predict, to forecast, unless you look at the past. So anybody who's telling you the past is not important, they're misleading you.
You're wrong.
And let me give you an example. I came in here in this country at a very young age. From March of 1975 until July 5th, 1976, every day, every station had a 15-minute expose on the American Revolution. For the whole year, they celebrated that. And every child had to watch the news and report what was said the next day, if you were in that country at that time. In 2004, when Haiti is getting ready to celebrate their 200th anniversary, U.S. is saying, everybody's saying, ah, come on, it's 20 years ago, it doesn't mean anything. Excuse me? Of course it means something. If you don't know the past, if you don't study the past, you'll never be able to build for the future. It doesn't work that way. If you don't bring me data, I cannot give you a price for what the company can charge you. It's simple as that. All the different forecasting models, all the generalized linear models, all the Buhlmann credibility, all the Bayes estimations, you need past data. So of course the data is important. Of course you need to go over the past. Now some people will argue, well, you don't want to live in the past, you don't want to stay in the past. Well, maybe we should spend the time in the past. It seems that we haven't learned our lesson. And I will show you the lesson that we should have learned. From the time black people were enslaved, the Africans were enslaved in every location, there were rebellions. Everywhere. In that island that we call Haiti, 1537, 1548, these are the major ones that it's been recorded, but they were always. Then would you have the Maroons, the escaped slaves who went and formed their own communities. You had all those. 1691, 17